Greetings. Welcome to Rogue Dragon Speaks. I got Symbaroum Monster Codex here. Now, we've gone over the other Symbaroum books before, the core book, the advanced book, the GM guide, all that, when I had them on PDF. Here I got the book for this one. I have the other books too. Then we're going to do some character creation next week. So here they have monsters in the core book. I think what it is in this game, you encounter bandits, you encounter other, races that have their culture set up. They could be player races, for example. But then you also, there's these monsters that can come along that are difficult. So there's some in the core book, there's some here. And we have about 100 pages, all this. And then, of course, they have adversaries. So once again, they have the NPC type of adversaries for you. Champions of Prios, Order Magica, that's a magic order. And they have some of these in the core book too. And this is talking about the different areas of beasts and monsters that will be there. A section on creation of monsters. Okay. Welcome to Symbaroum's Monster Codex book, a book featuring a collection of astonishing creatures and remarkable phenomena which can be encountered in the vast forest of Davakar and its surroundings. Between its covers, you will get to meet previously unknown, or at least not yet described, monsters and adversaries who are very eager to put your players and their characters to new and tougher tests. You will also find rules and guidelines that will be helpful when you are creating your own unique monstrosities, or when you are designing interesting challenges in the area, Davakar, or the mountains. So, the continental map of where we're at, there's like the southern part, which is where the cities or civilization is. There's about a big, huge forest, which has corruption in it, and it's where barbarians live, and there are some human settlements too, and things like that, and other types of demi-humans. And to the east, there's a mountain range, to the east and to the south. There's actually a module in which you come from the far south and travel to Umbria. Okay. So, aurochs. Predatory aurochs comprise the remains of the Spider King's subjects. Okay. There's an adventure setup. So there's an auroch poison. I love the art in Symbaroum. Look at this. It is so Dark Souls. Just love it. A bestial. So according to their own tales, the age-old race of shapeshifters calling themselves bestials began as allies to the humans of Symbaroum, but eventually became their slaves and enemies. So that's going to be, what we normally would call an lycanthrope, I believe. And you also get, for each monster, an adventure setup. Types of bestial. Colossi. Corrupted nature. Let's see, discovering corrupt nature. That you're entering an area with corrupt nature can be noticed with a successful vigilant test by anyone with bushcraft or witch sight. With bushcraft, the character realizes that the place is unnatural and dangerous. With witch sight, it's also possible to perceive the corruption in the air, ground, and waters. If the test is successful, it is possible to turn back and find a way around the area at the cost of a longer route, plus 1 die 12 hours. And here it's got a chart for the corruption, what can come out of it, demons, things like that. Okay, a darkling. Hunter, a leader, and an adventure setup. A death prince. Okay. That must be the death prince there. So this is going to be something like a dark, what we would call a death knight. Ancient legends as well as more contemporary stories are full of examples of sorcerers with the ability to create death lords. A dead body that has been brought back to life through a ritual that burns its flesh and bones into a blackened suit of armor, which is bound to serve the sorcerer forever. But what these horror stories often fail to mention is what happens if, or rather when, the master dies. Okay. Dragon. There's a dragon now. A great picture of a dragon. We have drake worms. We have dragons. So an Edomite swarm, and this is how I guess you can make serums from them. Living thorns. So they have some plants in here. Okay, king toads. Let's see. Molligal. Or is it Malgal? There's an adult and there's spawns. Morit. No, if you like good art, this book is worth it for the art alone. A nightmare. Let's see. Troll Shadow. I have to say they also have done a good job of doing different kind of monsters. They might be similar to types, but at least different. But some of them are completely different. Vengeful terrain. That's very interesting. And you can conjure it. So there's like a spell or a ritual you can do to conjure vengeful terrain. monsters, and adversaries. Okay. So this is giving you some NPCs here. Champions of Prio. So that's the experienced Black Cloaks are the Sun Church's foremost intelligence agents and witch hunters, utterly convinced of the importance of upholding Prios' laws. Each sin is a threat to the world as well as the soul of the individual offender. Experienced Black Cloak, a Flagellant, a Liturg, an experienced Templar. They have different ranks, different skills. A Theurg, the Whip of Prios. And then here's the Order Magica with I like that picture. There's the Order Magica. This is going to be a magic school or cult or the Orders of Umbria. Beast and Monsters. So the 5 headings of this chapter refer to different types of wilderness. However, it should be noted that the game world's bestial inhabitants tend to move between different hunting grounds. A creature that normally dwells in the underworld could very well be forced to the surface. And beasts usually encountered in the region's waterways can sometimes be found on dry land or crawling through the bogs of the forest. So I didn't realize it, but here, it's okay for Bright Davakar, for example. That's like the sections of the woods that don't have corruption. These are commonly encountered creatures. So it's giving us more monsters, and I didn't even realize that. I thought it was just a monster creator section. According to Clan, this is this picture here, according to Clan Karahar, it is neither the Hodra nor the High Chieftain or some elf prince that rules Davakar, but a spirit called Arlheg, often appearing as a majestic, huge moose. So here's the underworld, cave raids, so here's a bunch more. Here's a bunch more monsters. Monsters traits. Now this is the section here. It's very detailed about creating a monster. All right. These are the powers for monsters. The creation of monsters, balance combat resistance, how to balance the encounter, phases of monster hunting. So this is a very good, lot of stuff, Monster Codex. And next week we'll do some character creation, and we'll start some solo play with Symbaroum and see how that does. I've tried some Symbaroum on my own, and I was using ChatGPT, not the current, but the older, the 4. And I found that DM to be too easy. I had to do a random thing, and I put a module into it and tried it, and just didn't like it. Okay, so we'll see you next time. Please give us a like and subscribe.